That's good.
All right. Hey, everybody. Today is Thursday. I can't believe it. February 4th, the first Thursday in February 2021. And I'm just excited to be able to have this episode of On the Fly with Kai. And I'm thrilled to be able to have my guest here today. And I always try to bring you some of my personal network, people that I know, that I love what they're up to, what they stand for. And they've got great tips, tricks, hacks for entrepreneurs and busy executives. And this is really what we're trying to bring to you every single Thursday. And today's no different. And I'm just so excited. We're kind of newer friends. I've known about Katherine Kinney for a long time, just from afar, always admired her and thought she was up to amazing things. But it wasn't until just recently that over this kind of shutdown that we were able to reconnect over Zoom. And we've been doing a lot of fun collaborations and projects together. And I love what she's up to. So she's a mindset coach, and she really concentrates on joy and manifesting, your best life and opportunities. And I didn't even realize that for 10 years, over 10 years, she's been a yoga instructor, meditation instructor, which just totally, now that I hear about it, makes sense. And then she's also comes from a background of mine of insurance, where she has owned a successful agency on top of this coaching business for 22 years. And she's a national speaker. So please help me welcome my dear friend here, Katherine Kinney. I'm going to call you from KK from this point moving forward, because it's just adorable like you. But hey, I'm excited to have you.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here and meet all your people.
I know,
And
right? And I feel like I know you pretty well, just because we've been able to hang out virtually, and I don't think that we've really had a cup of coffee outside of the virtual world, but I just, we've had so much fun getting to know each other. And I just, one of my favorite things about you is you've always, and I think I put it in the title of this, was you've always never been a victim. You've always been not just a survivor, you've always been a thriver. And I know that kind of led you to your path of coaching. But gosh, I want to kind of address that, because I know that's a big part of why you do what you do. But you've had, special needs child, you've had, divorce. I mean, the same wind blows on us all, as Jim Rohn says, but it's the set of the sail that really puts things into perspective. And so how were you able to overcome that? And what is that, kept you grounded and all that? How have you been able to overcome that? Share with folks. And I appreciate your transparency.
well, I talk about how first I couldn't survive. It was pretty amazing when my child was 3, who's now 16. He's healthy now, but he had cancer in his spine. And so it was something, it wasn't like, I always say, nothing's good about breast cancer, but at least there's a lot of people who have it, so you can kind of know what will happen. Mine was like no idea. We had no idea what each day looked like, right? So I was getting more and more stressed. And I remember what I did is I manifested my child by meditation. I was, if we go backwards, I am very transparent. I was married for 15 years, and the first 10 years we tried to get pregnant, and I couldn't get pregnant. So went to a support group for 3 years, and it was just a bitch session. It was where I thought I needed to be. And then finally the RN who was there every week, and I called her the Buddha anyhow, she said, there's this new class. It's called meditation. And I was like I couldn't raise my hands fast enough. And everybody's like, KK, what are you talking about? I go, we've been doing this for 3 years, and this crap is not working. I mean, it might be working for you, but we're just bitching about, and excuse my language, but each week we're all crying over someone's pain. I just want to try something internal that could help us. And in that year, we all took the class because they saw me really, like saying we need to try something different. And we all did it, and we all have 16-year-olds.
Oh my gosh, that is so
That's a testimony on itself, when you have people in the same room going through the stress of trying to get pregnant and all the extremes you're feeling with your relationship and your body. And then you finally just try this new meditation. And I really thought it was going to be like a meditation, like, oh, now breathe into your ovaries or breathe into your, and I'm like, no, it was just regular meditation, never did it before. And I went to that first class, and I said, I drove all the way from Campbell all the way to Sunnyvale, like as fast as I could, because I was late, and you got to get in that room and you sit down. And And when I left, I felt like I'd been in Hawaii.
Wow.
And I said, okay, maybe I'll leave 5 minutes earlier next time so I'm not stressed out getting in the room. And during that first 6 weeks class, we sat into it, listened to it, and then went home, and I was like, well, still not pregnant. But I said, you know what, there's something to this. I'm going to just keep doing it every day. And so I just put it on, and sometimes I fall asleep. And later on, I went to see Deepak Chopra 2 years ago, and he's like, if you fall asleep during meditation, it's okay. It just means you need to sleep. Your body's tired, right? And it's just being acceptance. And so that was my first introduction. So when I was dealing with my child's cancer and was in the hospital for over 3 months, I was just like, how do I stay grounded? And I just did breathing, what they call pranayama breathing, just did breathing. I didn't know what the name was back then. I was just breathing, closing my eyes and letting people come in the room who were caregivers to take care of my child so I could take care of myself. I did a lot of walking, and just doors open. In the meantime, I'm running my insurance agency. And, I have to say the big thing about what I was able to do is I retain my employees. I have an employee, been with me for 22 years.
Wow.
She's like my wife at work. I mean, I've been married with her longer than I was with my husband and my partner now.
Wow.
And you can't do this. You can't do this without having a support team at work and things like that. So, going into it, I have this child. I'm trying to stay grounded. And next thing you know, my marriage is falling apart because we're spending so much time on the child. We're not working on each other. And we went to counseling and it just wasn't working out. And I finally said, I want to do something different. I also want to show my child that I'm in love with somebody. And so I said, we got to break up. And it was not a good divorce. It was not happy. And that's when I really found, I found meditation. I couldn't find meditation. I drove around town, looking for that meditation class again. And I drive up and I go, oh, those are not my people. Okay. And I get back in the car and then finally I found this yoga class that had meditation, and it was in Santa Cruz because I used to live in Santa Cruz. So I wanted, so it was fine. I didn't have my child on Thursday nights. I could go to yoga in Santa Cruz. And again, when I went into that first yoga class, which I teach now, it's hatha yoga with affirmations.
Did you say, wait, hot yoga or?
It's called hatha. Hatha.
Okay.
Hatha, Hatha yoga, not hot. And it's with affirmation. So when we hold a pose, we actually are saying a affirmation. So if you want to be really grounded and you get in tree pose, you put your hands over your head, or I'm going to put them just right here because you can see around my name. But it's I am calm and I am poised.
Mm.
And if you just keep repeating that, I am calm and I am poised, I can do this. Or another great one is left, right, and all around. No, I'm saying that wrong. I'm going to come back to that one because it's not popping in my head. But it's one of those other ones. It's just I kept repeating it. I just kept repeating affirmations. So I said, there's something to this, So I said, I'm going to just keep doing it. And then I loved it so much. Next thing you know, I'm becoming a meditation teacher. And I'm looking at the guy going, I'm going to be a meditation teacher. And he goes, yeah, the best people who can teach meditation are the people who are just learning it. I've been doing it for 30 years and I'm a little, I'm good at my practice, but you have to have some, foundation behind it. You have the foundation. I said, okay. And so I started doing that and I just loved it. And then I started doing yoga teacher training, and next thing you know, I'm a yoga teacher. But I don't use it. I don't teach meditation and yoga unless I'm doing it with one-on-one with my clients, kind of thing. So, yeah. Did I get through that whole thing?
Well, yeah. Well, so Lulu says that she loves affirmations and yoga and all that. Sounds great. So I know then, you've done some amazing things with the yoga and meditation, and you have a second generation insurance agency, which is more, right brain, left brain. You're using kind of both sides there.
Yeah.
How did you end up parlaying that into, being a mindset coach? How did that sort of evolve? I know that was about a decade ago. I think you were a junior league or something like that. And
yeah, I did a lot of volunteering. And so what happened is, when you are talking as an agent to your clients, you're really walking them off the ledge a lot of times. I can't pay my bill, or why is my insurance so high? And you're always, or they had a claim, like, what do I do? We're really already coaching them. So that was the easy piece. Then it was the mindset coaching that I got into, because I saw how it changed me. And so even me, I took a class once and people says, oh, I'm not going to use that. I use it all the time. It's a great day at Allstate. I'm sorry, I said the name of the company. And they said, what's so great about it? I go, well, maybe not great for you, but I'm going to have the answers to make it great. Right. And they went, okay, I'll give you that. So then after a while, they just kept saying, you still say that? And I said, yeah, because it's like, I want to change the energy of the phone call from the beginning. Right. So you're calling to complain, or, no one's ever calling their insurance agent to like say, it's a great, I just can't wait to talk to you. So, I've used it in my business so much. And so then I started realizing people started coming to me in Junior League. They wanted a lot of advice about what they should do and stuff. And they saw that I'd gone through so many challenges. So they're like, hey, KK, can we talk? And I'd be like, sure. Because that's kind of one of the things we do in Junior League is mentor people to be better, women in working in organizations and stuff, and kind of helping them like put a career together for their nonprofit life. And so they would come to me and I said, wow, I'm getting a lot of people coming to me. And then I thought, you know what, this is it. I'm a coach. I'm coaching in my insurance business. I'm coaching in volunteering. And now, kind of coaching with the social media that we've been sharing. I kind of am that person who loves to do that, and I love to share. So I started saying, well, someone said to me, if they're going to really take you seriously, you got to charge. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'll start charging now. So my clients sometimes call me, and now that I'm, certified as a coach, they call and we talk for a while and they go, I had no idea that this call was going to go this way. That was like beyond amazing, which helps me retain my clients too. And I said, yeah, I'm a life coach too. So you get like a twofer. You get a 2 for 1. You get me as your agent. And I also can coach you a little bit on what you're dealing with and how to deal with it overall in the big picture. So it's been like a natural progression. I will say my dad, because I took over his business, he's the same way. He's a mentor too. He did Allstate, but he also did Kiwanis, and he also was mentoring, and he was like the person who put speakers together, and he still does, and Aptos. And it just, it's a kind of human nature thing. What you do, you see someone doing it and you see the benefits of what they're doing. You're like, oh, that might feel good for me too. And once I started volunteering and helping people, like, I love this. I love giving back. I love giving back.
Well, it's funny. Our backgrounds are similar. So my background was insurance, and then I did my part-time other business on the side till my part-time other business equaled well, it didn't quite equal it. I left a little too soon, I'm not going to lie. But then I got rid of my insurance business, and now I've been working with my company just forever since. And it was difficult because owning a business and then having another business, like 2 businesses. And most people will like have a corporate gig. They finally wake up from like ITs, and I say from the matrix, and they're like, okay, I want to do an entrepreneurial venture. And there's a lot of things they can do on the side, like whether it's real estate or whatnot. But it's really difficult to have one business, right? Second generation, and then start another business and grow that one. My goodness, woman, how do you do these 2 things? You have a 16-year-old, and you have, your boyfriend, if you don't mind me saying, had some health issues too. I mean, that's a lot. So that's kind of a 2-parter. So how do you keep these 2 tracks in your brain kind of separate? And then how do you handle it when there's a hiccup amongst all of these businesses, like with your husband's heart disease or your partner's heart disease?
Well, the nice thing about the coaching is I can do it on weekends. A lot of times people are looking for that weekend. So it might mean I'm working 7 days a week sometimes, but it's okay because I'll take a few hours off on a Wednesday afternoon to kind of balance it for myself. And I just find that when I'm coaching people, I am so excited that I can add on another 10 hours to 20 hours a week just doing that because it feels so good, And then in my insurance business, when it's, if I have great employees all the time, I'm doing great. I can put more time into the coaching. And when, with the pandemic, I had 5 employees before that. And after that, I went down to 2.5, and now I'm down to 1.5. And so, because people we didn't have all the, they didn't have all the need because our business slowed down, right? So now I'm regrouping and getting back into the insurance. I'm in the insurance full time, but I'm finding that I'm going to need to hire more people, to be able to do more coaching. But what I do is I just do my coaching on the weekends, or I do workshops on the weekends and things like that. So it gives me, I just love doing it. It just gives me so much joy, so much knowing when I get off a call with them, I just feel like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. You just feel so good. It just feeds me. That's what feeds me, helping people. And so for me, it's just a balance, because I think the benefit is I own my own insurance agency. I can decide what days I want to work. And I also can say, okay, I'm going to work more here. I'm going to work till 9 o'clock at night sometimes, right? Because it is my insurance agency. I'm not an employee. I am the employer, so you have a whole different mindset of how much you work. And then you can take time off too. And this is what I found was wonderful with the balance when my child was in the hospital. I could work, but I also could be really present for my child. And I would say, it's really great to own your own business, because you don't have to worry about going to the HR department, say, I need the Family Leave Act. I need all these things. You are the business. You just have to be really good at retaining good employees so you can take the time off. So it's all a balancing act. And I've been very lucky. I'm not lucky. As you know, I'm a mindset coach, and I've manifested it, and I've put it in the energy to make it work. And it has. And that's what I now do, is teach people how to shift their thinking from the negative to the positive. And when you do that, boom.
Well, a couple of things came up for me there. One, if you do what you love and you love what you do, it doesn't feel like work. And I can hear that from you for sure. And then you brought me up to my next question, because I know I call you the manifesting queen. Like, you've manifested, you're so great. And like, even with work communicating, I'm like, it's been so great to get to know you. You're like, yeah, we manifested each other. I was like, oh yeah, we did. That's so cool. And so talk about, like, for those people that maybe aren't familiar with what is manifesting, how does it work? And, because I think that word is kind of nebulous, and I know there's a modality behind it. And so would love for you to share with folks, what does that mean if you're a manifesting queen? And how have you practiced that? And what have you manifested in your life?
Oh, that's okay. It's all great. Okay. It's a law of attraction. It's just manifesting positive things into your life, right? I also feel like there's that, okay, I have this negative thing with the cancer, so I'm going to have something positive coming, right? So how do you switch your brain when you're in the hospital? Well, we have 50,000 to 70,000 stinking thinking thoughts every day until you really start training your brain, right? We think, oh, I didn't say the right thing, or I wish I could play out that call again. All the things we do, and sometimes, and it's teaching your brain to go, no, that was great. You did it. You said it. It went out exactly the way you were supposed to. You followed yourself. When you follow your heart and not your ego, power. But law of attraction is attracting like for like. So you and I are power businesswomen. We really are. I've seen you, you see me, we waved hi, but we never connected one-on-one. I mean, I haven't even hugged you yet. I can't wait to hug you, but we're busy because we run these businesses and are doing really well, and it's great, but we're like for like, right? Mm-hmm. And so because of it, we attracted each other to go, hey, I really want to work on some other social media stuff. Are you in? I'm like, yeah, I want to do that too, right? Like for like energy, right? And you're like, I do this, and I'm doing this on the internet. I'm like, yeah, me too. It's just the positive energy of two people. And when it works, then it's on fire, right? And Kaya and I are working on some social media stuff, and it's just like not just kind of gone, oh, that was nice, and it dribbled. It's like taken off, and we've included 8 more people in the group, which is great. So it's positive for positive, as well as I tell people, if you start thinking negative, you're going to attract negative in your life. Mm. It's like a magnet. And it's just pretty much think positive, positive, negative, and negative. And if you start going down that negative rabbit hole, you're going to attract more of that. So what I do, little simple things I can manifest. I can get in my car and I can say, everything's working out for me. And I drive and all the lights turn green. And every time my partner looks at me and I go, look, And he goes, LOA. And I go, LOA. I mean, we think this way now, and it's powerful. So what have I manifested? So when I started getting into all of this, I found the meditation, which is a huge piece to be able to slow your energy down and find, the affirmations help you slow down and get into your centered space. And then when you can release the stuff, you become quieter, happier. If you're learning to meditate in a way that brings peace to you. Some people can't do it or don't have all the techniques, so they feel like, that doesn't work for me. But it can work for everybody. It's just having a process of doing it. Then you do it, you start meditating, and you start feeling the peace, and then you start throwing in the affirmations. Now you're already in a positive place, right? So then things start coming to you. So when I was going through a divorce, I knew I had to move. I had to sell my house. It was 2009. The financial market went down and such. I had to sell my house, and it didn't look pretty. I mean, I was in debt. I was short sell my house. I was like, I can't buy anything right now. And I've owned 3 homes prior to this, right? But I needed to let it go. You have to let go. So I said, I'm just letting it all go. And I had a number in mind, which is another part of manifesting. You kind of need to know what your number is. So I said, $2,500 is the maximum I can pay with all this other stuff I got to pay off. And so I went to see a little apartment I remember seeing as a kid that I always wanted to live in. And it's also that fantasies of like, oh, wouldn't it be great to live there? Well, I walked in there and it was a dump. And I laughed so hard when I got in the car going, OMG, you think you know what you want at 5? It was just a cute fantasy. And I drove back to work laughing hysterically all the way going, okay, well, if that's what 2,500 is going to get me, okay, I'm going to just have to realize I'm downsizing right now. And then I was positive about it. I could have gone in there and gone, God dang, this is what 2,500 gets you. This is crap. This is crap. I can't believe it. I can't even afford to live here. I'm going to have to get the heck out of San Jose. And you can go either way.
Yeah.
I went the way, right? Like I just laughed saying, okay, well, I'm going to have to get rid of a lot of stuff, but that's okay. And I'll figure it out. And so then a couple of days later, a friend calls me and says, hey, KK, I found you a house. And I go, okay. She goes, it's for sale. And I go, well, I don't want to buy a house for sale. I want to rent. And she goes, oh no, I talked to her. She's going to rent it to you. And I'm like, you have found me a house and they're going to rent it. She goes, and you need to call this lady and here's her number. I didn't call her. She called me. This lady called me 3 weeks later and said, I hear you're looking for a house to rent. I hear you're going through a divorce and I have a house and I'm not able to sell it. Back in 2009, the houses weren't selling. She goes, could we meet? I'd like to show it to you. And I said, okay. I had asked nothing about it. I didn't ask the price. I didn't ask the size. I didn't ask anything. And I drove up and I went, oh boy. Okay. I walked into a 2,600 square foot house and I said, oh boy. But I kept loving her house. I go, you have orange walls. I have orange walls. She goes, that's what your friend said. I walked into her kitchen and I said, OMG, this is my dream kitchen. I pulled it out of a magazine, but my last house had a new kitchen, so I couldn't replace it and put a new kitchen in. Oh my God, I can't believe you have my kitchen. And I walked around the whole house like everything I've been thinking about having in my life was in this house. And I said, wow, okay. I said, sweetie, I'm just so blessed to just even be here and get to see it. But I can't afford your house because we haven't even talked price yet. And she goes, no, we haven't, but what can you afford? And I said, no, I'd insult you to tell you what I can pay because this house is at least $4,000, for a month. And she goes, well, I told 3,000 to 4,000. I'm being very open. And I go, well, my number is 2,500. I can't do it. And she says, well, okay, well, what if we split the difference? I mean, like, who offers to split the difference, right? And I'm like, okay, let me go home and massage the numbers and see about PG&E and all stuff. Oh, my PG&E is $75. I used to pay $400. I'm okay, well, that's, all these things. I got it down with a little negotiation to $25.25. So I don't want to talk too much longer, but I manifested my house. Okay, I rented it. 3 years later, she sold it to me. She was the loan company. I had no down payment. I and then I just bought her out 7 years later. And I'm into numbers, and I bought the house on November 12th, 2013. So it was 11, 12, 13. So I kept writing angel numbers 11, 12, 13, 11, 12, 13 when I bought it, right? Yeah. And then I realized when I sat after a big meditation I did a what they call Kriya meditation. That's the kind of meditation I now do. I came back from the retreat center. I looked at the address and I went, OMG. I never noticed it, but it was 2108. My birth date's 108. My child's birth date's 801. And there's two of us that were living in the house.
Wow.
So it's all these little signs you see, but it's just being that positive energy. Yeah. So then my partner had a heart transplant. He was in Stanford, and you could have gone like, I'm never going to get a heart. It took 3 months to get that heart. He went in the operating room 4 times. The first 3 hearts didn't work out. I was always manifesting the heart. And finally I said, I can't do this for you. You have to manifest your own heart. I'm showing you all the tricks, but you have to believe you're going to receive this heart. So he and I sat and I coached him one night after. I was like, you got to believe the story, because it's not my story. It's yours, And that night he really listened to me, and he started thinking of an affirmation, and we posted it on his board. And I went home at midnight, and at 8:00 in the morning, he called me and said, I'm getting my heart today. He got his heart in 12 hours.
Wow.
So it's just the putting out the energy, and what I love to do is share my stories, from meditating and getting my child to getting my house to getting my partner, helping him get a heart transplant. I've manifested cars, a limo. We have a limo. I don't know why we have a limo. We have a limo. Anybody need a limo? I just manifested a convertible recently. I mean, I have really fun stories, and it just, every time it happens, we just laugh going, oh, of course we're going to receive that. Okay. It's fun.
Love
And
it.
that's what I like to teach people, is how to have fun in this pandemic. I call it a candemic, because even though we haven't had a lot of fun, we did lose a grandson through this whole process, but overall, in my own spirit, we're just trying to be, at peace with where we're at, knowing he had his own story when he transitioned. We also are dealing with, life every day, but being in gratitude every day is key. Hey, I'm just happy I'm breathing. That's a gratitude, right? I'm happy I'm making money, I have a roof over my head, and then all these other processes I teach people in my coaching to get them out of their stinking thinking into positive thinking. It works. It works. It always works. I just had someone who's in a polka dot, another group. She came to my vision board class in June. She just manifested a second home in the mountains. Her husband had no interest in buying a second home. She got one. And then someone in our polka dot group came to vision class, manifested her partner in a pandemic. She met a man in a pandemic. Okay. It can be done. It's just changing your mind from fear to love and doing it. There's a lot of stuff I just shared there.
I know. I mean, it was
I
amazing.
had to be quiet, everybody.
It was amazing. And I know it was funny because I was saying, oh, I do a dream board. And you're like, no, there's no such thing as dream board. We do vision boards. And I've seen your vision board on your partner's hospital wall that you created to manifest the heart. So you are the real deal. You practice what you preach, and you got a dog that way. I mean, it's just like, it's amazing what you've been able to manifest. I know we've got only 1 minute left.
I know.
Forever. I'm
Sorry.
so bummed. I know you've got some changes for 2021. You're looking for, so let's manifest what you're looking for, because I know you're looking for something for 2021. Why don't you share with everybody, number one, what that is? And number two, how can they engage with you if they like what they've heard today? Because you're just one of the coolest chicks ever. And they want to say, you know what, I'd like to do some additional, workshops and things with you. So tell us how can we help you? Because I know we can with this community. And then how can they engage with you?
So first of all, thank you. I think you're amazing too. So I'm selling my insurance agency. It's been around our family for 52 years, but you see my passion of what I want to do. So I'm ready to train someone and take it over, and they can make this nice 6 figures that I make for someone else. And to get a hold of me, find me on Facebook as Katherine Kinney. And I have a vision group called Vision_2021. You can join my Facebook group. I put little insights on there, and then you'll get to see my activity. I don't have a website, but I do have a Linktree site, and I could share that somewhere down the road through you. And KK Life Coach at Yahoo. That's why
Cool.
I did Yahoo, because it's like Yahoo. So KK Life Coach at yahoo.com.
I'm a
Yeah.
Yahoo too. I can't help it. So
Yeah.
what we're going to do then is this will be on, facebook.com/on the fly. You can go on there, KK,
Yeah.
and then, post on there how to engage with you as well. At least that thread will be there. And it's also on the fly on YouTube. So you can go in there and comment and put your information there too. But I've really enjoyed, this went so fast. I was like, oh my gosh, we're done. I could have been
I
here for
know.
hours.
Hours.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to really bring you to just a lot of new folks prayerfully that can benefit from your insights and what's happened with you. And with that, we'll see you next Thursday. We're super excited. We'll be here next Thursday with another incredible guest. And I just want to thank everybody for watching Kai on the Fly. We'll see you guys over the top. Take care. Take charge. Bye, everybody. See you next Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific.